Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Happy Saturday. It is 10:20 p.m. EST. We are chilling. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining. How's your guys' weekend going so far? Right. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining. Happy Saturday. All right, let's get into some charts, guys. Bitcoin is chilling at 103,314, which I think is an important number somewhere. All right, let's get the webcam on. Hey. How's everyone doing today? You guys have a good weekend? Super chill. Well, so far. What's going on, Fahid? What's going on, Philly? What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Twanley? Philly said, "How's my weekend? I'm so effing bored sitting in." I'm pretty bored right now. Figured I'd go live. I haven't missed a day in who knows how long. So I'm not gonna start now. The play was awesome. It was really good. Rob Hopkins said, "AJJ, the GOAT." What's going on, Rob Hopkins? Appreciate you for joining. We got Bitcoin chilling at 103,314 and 65 cents. It seems pretty stable here, oddly enough. The wedge that I've drawn, we're not 100% sold on. Upper trend line is sloppy. A range kind of makes a little more sense at this point than the wedge. Yeah, we'll see. But it is descending, which is bullish. So let's refresh our liquidation heat map and see if we are still stuck in this little range that they put us in for the weekend. It looks like that might be the case. Yep. Oh, actually, it's gotten a lot thinner down below. We got 102,331. We got way down here, 101,900. Up top, what do we got up top? 103,980. And then the big boy up there is 104,411. Nice. So yeah, we're still stuck in our little range that the powers that be permit us to be in. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, "Doing good, busy, little Saturday, Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond." Nice. That sounds like a trip I would have been miserable to go on when I was a child. Giovanni said, "What's up? What's going on, Giovanni?" Bootney Lee Farnsworth said, "When moon?" Hopefully right now, because we did just get past a full moon. So after that, it's supposed to be bullish. I don't know if the moon specifically, but you did say when moon, so I feel like it's relevant in the conversation. Did you see the newer Futurama where they mine crypto? That was pretty funny. The old dude, I don't remember the guy's name, but he's like, "Oh, I got one," and he pulls it out and he's like, "Oh man, it's just a danged Ethereum," and he throws it in the garbage because he was supposed to be mining Bitcoin. I thought that was pretty good. The Bitcoin maxis probably freaked out when that happened. If they even watch cartoons, who knows? But I love Futurama, dude. Criminally underrated. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said it's a line from Old School. What is? Oh. Old School is a great movie. Frank the Tank. You're my boy Blue. My stepbrother named his dog Blue because of Old School. All right. Bitcoin chilling 103, 293, and 8 cents. We are stuck in our little range that mom and dad let us play in. Bitcoin dominance is chilling at 63.59. There's a little bit of like a inverse something or other possibility right here, which it doesn't really bode for any kind of frightening. Honestly, if we just projected at 64, I would say that that inverse head and shoulders, if that's even relevant, played out. But I don't even know if that's a thing that you can do on Bitcoin dominance specifically. I don't know if TA applies to Bitcoin dominance. I've never really tried to backtest it. ETH is up 0.29% since the daily close. It had this ascending. If it is, it's an ascending broadening wedge. Otherwise, just an ascending range. And it did break bearish, but it does look like it's currently back up. The momentum wave is almost oversold. RSI is below 50. We had a red dot that played out back here. Looking good. It is sitting below 25.81, which is not great, but if it, I don't know, it's probably going to do one of these. Maybe. That'd be my guess, because it does look like it's trying to curl back up. But we'll see. We got nice volume pickup right here, and since then it's kind of died off. So we'll see if we get another uptick in volume soon. Sol is up 0.81% on the day. I don't know. I don't think this line even counts as anything. I'm gonna get rid of it because it just kind of looks like we're in a distribution pattern up top, and we're probably gonna break down, grab some liquidity, and then continue. If I had to weigh in on that, we're below 175. And it does look like it's getting a reaction off of our little blue line, which is nice. Our big blue line is going to be more important to me, though. If we break below this, it's going to spook me a little bit. Maybe we can grab some liquidity at the halfway point, or even if it comes all the way down here. That's still technically an uptrend over time. You know what I mean? So we will see what plays out with Sol specifically. A lot of eyes on Sol right now. It feels like people are getting ready, but I can't tell if they're getting ready for upside or downside. I know Michael Burry liquidated his entire stock portfolio. Everyone's freaking out about that, and he went 100% into makeup company Estee Lauder or something like that. But I also saw people pointing out the fact that the last time he did that, the S&P 500 went up like 50%. So unfortunately, I got a lot of respect for the guy. He's made a lot more money than I have, but he does seem kind of like a one-trick pony, you know, he had his one-hit wonder. You know what I mean? Nobody really knows anything else from his catalog besides The Big Short. So, if that even was him, I don't remember. I think it was him. Total 3 is breaking down. Similar situation to Sol. I'm gonna get rid of this again because I don't know if it's relevant. Just looks like a upwards distribution pattern. What would be nice is if we didn't do, because the pattern is playing out similar to the fractal. Yeah, we got this right here. It's just on a different trajectory. So if we could do this and see if we go up further, that would be cool, because that's kind of what happened here. See it? Am I making sense, or am I just making stuff up? Because it's kind of a mix of both. Do you get me? Do you got me? Is that good? You know what I mean? So hopefully this is the bounce, the important bounce to continue back up on total 3. Let's actually go check total 2. There's no rush for anything now, so we can kind of take our time with these charts. If you guys got any coins you want me to look at, feel free to shout them out in the chat, and I will happily go check them out. Yeah, total 2 is equally as interesting to me. There's immense horizontal support here. Wow. Yeah. I mean, we're at a great spot right now. 1.18, 1.17 is support. A worst case scenario, 1 is going to be huge psychological. So is 1.1. So let's see if those hold. And then total crypto market cap in general. Yeah, we're right at 3.2. If we break below that, because this does scream distribution right here, we could break below that, grab some liquidity at 3.04, and then continue. I would not be mad at that, honestly. You can see the distribution patterns. These are all distribution patterns right here. Distribution downside, distribution upside, distribution upside, distribution downside. You know, yeah, they're easy to spot. And what's funny is this big fat arc happens in most of them right before the move. So we're either going to get one more and then a deadfall, or one more and then a bounce. Hopefully we get the one more and then a bounce. Rob Hopkins is cracking up. Oh, hold on. Giovanni said, my wife requests Ski Mask Dog. I will go check Ski Mask Dog for the wife. Hello, Mrs. Giovanni. Mrs. Fontes. That's a cool name. Mrs. Fontes. Let's go check Ski Mask Dog. I've been lathered in Bengay, and I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Ski Mask Dog. Why can't I find Ski Mask Dog? Why am I struggling so much? Ski Mask Dog on deck screener. Okay, my bad. I had to put it's 3 different words, I guess. JJ no spell good. Let's get back to it. Ski Mask Dog. Ski Mask Dog. Is it on base? I'm assuming it's on base. $82.6 million market cap. Rob Hopkins said scat. Fahid said, oh no, I'm sorry. Philly said, Fahid, I'm hoping. Let me go back up. It looks like I missed some stuff. Philly said, I still don't have a lot of walking freedom because I still have a lot of rehab on my right leg. It's going to be retrained to resync with my brain and spinal cord. Damn. Well, good luck, Philly. I'll be here to entertain you, answer any questions you got, keep you some company. Feel free to DM me and rant or whatever you need. Fahid said ETH season shouldn't have stopped. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said it's a line from old school. How did I miss that other stuff? I feel like that wasn't there. My brain's not working. Rob Hopkins said scat. Philly said, Fahid, I'm hoping this is just profit taking before going right back up. That would be hilarious. Fahid said, I hope so. Otherwise, we're screwed, Philly. I don't think we're screwed, but we'll see. We will see. You never know. So, Ski Mask Dog. Let's see. Let me get some horizontal lines in this bad boy. We should have some support here and here. And then where it's sitting right now, because of these 2 previous peaks. Right here, 1, 2, and I guess it was support back here too. Support right here, yeah. So you're at a good support zone. If it breaks below that, then look for 71.21. But, well, actually, it's not at a great support zone. It did break through it. It's at 82.67, which is below 85.89. Late hi JJ, what's going on, Dixie? Happy Saturday. We have a late night stream for you guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Yeah, 85.89 was a decent number to look out for some support, because it was pretty immense support in the past. Now that you're broke below that, it could be a halfway point liquidity grab. Otherwise, look for a rejection and a test of 71.21. 71.21 should be pretty decent support, because it's kind of across the board. Well, maybe not as decent as I thought. Psychological numbers as well. Look for 8 to look for 7. Probably 7.5. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, can we look at API 3, please? Yes, we can. Let me go look at SCAT really quick next. Where's SCAT at, Rob? You gotta give me some, you gotta give me a little more. Unless you were just saying SCAT. Which is kind of hilarious. I just look up everything everybody says. I'm like, Dixie wants us to look at late. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn, API 3. I know this one. I recognize this one literally from the top of the KuCoin list. Oh, Scat is Ski Mask Dog. Okay, I didn't know that. My bad. All right, API 3. I don't think we've ever looked at this. I vividly remember the name though from back when I was trading on KuCoin because it was always at the top of the list. That was in like alphabetical order. Okay, so let me put some lines on this bad boy. Hmm. Let's go right there. All right. So you can see the points of confluence throughout the chart. This is all resistance, resistance, support. Really quick little right there specifically. Resistance, support, resistance all up here, resistance, 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 support, support, resistance, resistance, support, 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 support. So those are all our points of confluence. This is just basically where the price has reacted in the past. API 3 is like Chainlink. Okay, if it's an oracle and it's not dead, then that's very impressive. Chainlink usually eradicates all of their competitors by working while the other ones don't. The best thing that you can do to your competition is outrank them. And Chainlink does really well. And for some reason, all the other oracles that I've witnessed, API 3 I know has been around for a long time, so this is probably the outlier in what I'm about to say. Every oracle I've seen that has attempted to even remotely compete with Chainlink fails, and it usually results in a stablecoin depegging and a bunch of people losing a shit ton of money, which is not good. That's like the one thing that they're supposed to do is make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen. And then they're like, all I imagine is like this, like mildly overweight guy sitting at a desk, like eating a donut, and then he's like listening to music, jamming out, smoking a cigarette or something, and then he looks and he's like, "Oh shit!" and he sees like the depeg thing, and he's like, "Something's wrong," and he like calls somebody up. He's like, "Why is the stablecoin depegging?" And then that's not at all how it plays out, but that's just how I imagine something going wrong in my head at an oracle. Okay, API 3. So you got to break below 80. Let's just call it 80 for simplicity. And it's currently retesting it. If it could break back above it, that would be great. Then your next slight resistance would probably be right here. You got a lot of wicks, which is signaling a lot of indecisiveness. They don't know whether or not the price should go up or down. It's just kind of been flat right here. Volume uptick right here. Nothing really since then. This was a big wick. This is scary. That's the only thing so far. That's really frightening. That means that everybody there was like, get out. The price is dropping. We need to sell. And no matter how great the fundamentals are, if this is the sentiment, then the price is going down. And that's exactly what happened. So what I would like to see is it get back above 80 and hold the price above 80 and then continue. Otherwise, if it rejects, try and look for some support at 75.6. What's nice about that is 75 itself is going to be a huge psychological area. So that should be immense support enough to at least get a reaction off of. So look for that. Otherwise, you break that, you're going down to 68.9 minimum. API 3 had a good run some time ago. I'll have to check it out. Let's go see. Talking about this monster. That's pretty decent. 150%. Ooh, very nice. That was in March of 2025. Okay, I like it. That's just a little spike too. Look at this giant thing. Holy cow. So if you buy the Pico bottom, 116. Okay, this is actually a bigger run. Interesting. Isn't that crazy? I just got to do zoom in a little bit. That's like the opposite of what everybody always tells you to do. So the RSI is chilling. It's working its way down. You got a green dot on the momentum wave. Not confirmed on the overall, but on the momentum wave, which means momentum is shifting to the plus side. That doesn't always have to be the case. You've seen it back here. You got your green dot and it failed, and then it can fail again, and you can get the price further down. You know what I mean? So, but this is good for the short term. RSI across would be great. A rejection is possible. If it becomes oversold on the 4 hour, look for a nice rebound, but it can be oversold for a minute, so keep an eye on that as well. ADA. ADA is down 0.15% since the daily close. ADA was interesting. It's been interesting. So we've had this this yellow resistance line has been resistance for quite some time since we peaked in December of 2024. So we really want to get above that trend line for sure. Is there a prevailing trend elsewhere? It's kind of sloppy. It's actually very sloppy. We'll have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. It does kind of seem like it could be pinching, but it seemed like that back here too, with this line specifically. And that did nothing for anybody. As soon as it broke down, it got really scary. This was like textbook bear flag right there. So we don't want that to happen again. Kind of had that start right here, but we got a nice bounce and established a potential little base right here for that to be a point of confluence for a nice trend line. We'll see if we get a reaction off of this. And I guess that kind of points to the fact that we're probably going down to 69.70. Probably 70. If it gets to 69, I won't be mad. But if it starts to break support levels outside of this potential triangle thing, then it's going to be a little spooky. And we'll definitely be keeping a closer eye on that if that happens. What's nice is you can see it's not a lot, but the volume is increasing slightly. Right here you got almost no volume, no one's around, and then you got a nice little uptick, and it's kind of sustaining that little swell in volume, which is nice. This right here, textbook distribution. You got distribution, shakeout, skyrocket, distribution, shakeout. Hopefully skyrocket, distribution, shakeout, skyrocket. This can happen for forever. And all the suckers are going to be the ones who get mad and sell. They're going to get mad and sell. Buy back right here, get mad and sell. Buy back right here. And it's a never-ending cycle. And unfortunately, for them, those people are probably who pushes the price up. SNEK is down 0.57%. We did get a break of our trend line on SNEK. Hopefully that's a fake out, but it doesn't seem like it right now. It looks like it's going down. We will have to wait and see. This is a stretch. I guess let me go off the wicks or the candle bodies. If I go off the candle bodies, this might be it. I don't like it. We got 1, 2, 3 points of confluence here versus the 1, 2, 3 points of confluence there. So I don't know. Jury's out. We'll have to see what happens. I would love to see an increase in volume and price. But the distribution is turning into a dump distribution very quickly. All we got to do is get below 29, 28. Then that is a lower low, and the price is probably going down. XRP is up 0.37% on the day. XRP got a rejection of 257.19. 250 didn't hold at all. What am I looking at here? See, XRP is kind of getting back into this. Like, it blasted up here, kind of established this crazy distribution. Is this the shakeout and then the rise? I don't know. It's hard to tell. What's nice about XRP is they have a enormous community and they have a lot of conviction now, especially after the SEC thing is, I think it's complete now. Who knows? I thought that they had settled, and then I'm hearing news that they're settling again or something. So there's Mandela effects in play, it seems. I don't know how many times you can settle the same court case, but it's becoming a little much. People are gonna become numb to the news. Nobody's gonna care eventually, which is sad. But so far, this has been the most XRP has sustained a pretty decent pump to the upside. And I feel like they deserve it. You know, they've been getting the crap end of the stick for a little too long. So we'll see if the uptrend continues. As of right now, we're just kind of watching and waiting. Look for support around 222 if it continues to the downside. But we are getting higher lows, which is great. It's just repeating distribution. HBAR is up 0.02%. This is another beautiful distribution example. Distribution, shakeout, pump, distribution, shakeout, pump, distribution, shakeout, pump. It's probably going to play out exactly like that. When alt season occurs, It's usually this. This just ridiculously insane, and that's like nonstop. Like you don't get this, and then like a couple of months, and then a little shakeout, and then more shakeout, and then a little slower. You don't get any of that. Alt season is like up, little sideways, up, little sideways, all within like a month or two. It's crazy. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, "Thanks, Philly. I put on a small long. Found the project good as it holding up against Link. Nice. Yeah, that's what you want to do, man. Figure out your plan and stick to it." So yeah, Chainlink, or I'm sorry, HBAR. HBAR, I want to see get back into this range. Is it going to do one of these? I feel like that's possible. We'll have to see. It seems like it's so far, but it really isn't. Let me see. I guess that's 50%. That is kind of crazy. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what plays out. Sweet. Doing another little distribution shakeout thing. What's nice about this is this looks very indicative of this, which means this right here is this, which means we're either going to get the move up right now or maybe at the end of the day tomorrow. If that is what's playing out, that would be sick. Billy said, JJ, you're missing my questions. What do we got? You said, JJ, this is one of my questions you ignored the other day. Can there be a bear market beginning without having some kind of financial disaster? I didn't miss that the other day. You you must have missed my answer. No. Or yes, there can be. I don't think the bear market is dependent on news at all. There's a saying, I don't know the exact quote, but it's like show me the red candle and I'll show you the bad news that caused it. And that's supposed to mean like anywhere where you see red candles, someone can go dig somewhere and find some bad news that they can use to justify that red candle. And it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Not in the way that the news caused the red candle, but the way that everyone thinks, like if you think that that's true, and then you find evidence supporting that, then in your brain you were correct. And that's not always the case. Every bear market is, in my opinion at least, and there's no way to prove this, there's no way anyone could ever prove this or otherwise, because there's so many moving parts. I believe that a bear market is just caused by a overexhaustion and big players taking profit. Last bear market, there was no specific news that caused it. Like FTX collapsed, Luna collapsed. We've had that level, or even worse, recently, that haven't caused anywhere near as bad of a downturn as we got when those things happened last bull market. And that's because those things didn't cause the bull market, or those things didn't cause the bear market. It's because the bear market was coming regardless, and Bitcoin was, at the time, seemed overinflated, and the price exploded to the downside. Everything just kind of collapsed. That, in my opinion, was the bubble. And the reason why I feel that way, don't let me forget we're on SWE. The reason I feel that way is because, oh geez, when you look at the Bitcoin chart on the higher time frame, this was the bull market, and then we went down. I think people just took profit. Now, this right here, everyone's saying this is the bull market. I don't think we've entered the proper bull market yet. I think we're about to. I think that this was a return to fair valuation, or maybe even this was. Maybe this is the start of the bull market, and alts are just now starting to wake up. Wow, that fractal looks freakishly accurate right now. Isn't that weird? That's crazy. I think that Bitcoin was worth this much this whole time. I think that right here, all of the retail and whatever small amount of institution that was involved took profits and probably made a crap ton of money. Maybe even right here. Let's call it right here. And then these were panic sellers. And then these were smart people accumulating. This was, you know what, actually, let's say this was institutions accumulating. This is smart people accumulating, which could also have been these people. And then this is retail FOMO. This is maybe these smart people back here taking profit again. And then the price just continues to the upside. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle of liquidity. I don't think it has anything to do with news. It does seem, though, somebody pointed this out the other day with the 4-year cycle, it does seem very driven by politics. Could you take a look-see at Viper? Yes, I absolutely can. Ladies and gentlemen, Viper is a Cardano native meme coin. And I do believe, let me know if I'm wrong, Rob, that they have NFTs. And the NFTs are lovely with a very decent mint price. Viper is at a pretty decent buy point right now, in my opinion. So, on the 4-hour, big spike up, distribution, spike, distribution. Right now, it's looking like it's an accumulation, honestly. You got some support right where it's at. Let me go to the lower time frame. 1 hour. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like. Can I get a RSI up here? I don't know if I've ever. Oh, I already had the RSI. That's really embarrassing. Clearly, it was not big enough. Okay. So keep in mind, this is a meme coin. It's $500,000 market cap. Liquidity is wonderful. What is that? 20%? That's crazy. 20% liquidity. It's a year old, so you know it's not a rug, at least so far. If it is, then it's very, very well structured. There are 1,482 holders. Beautiful distribution. It is currently oversold in the 1 hour time frame. And yeah. I mean, it looks like it's at support. Got all this points of confluence right here. Resistance. Maybe it's just retesting that resistance. There's not a lot of volume, so that's why the chart looks a little goofy. But you're getting in early. Tyler said, "Wait, you're up late. What's happening?" Nothing's happening, Tyler. I'm not up late. I'm normally up this late anyways. Don't insult me. How's camping, Tyler? Nothing's happening, by the way. I was just not in during the normal time. Rob said, some cells due to giveaway that people get, then sell to buy more NFTs. Ooh, okay, I like that. Distribution, man. That's all that is. We were on Sui. Yeah, I was looking at those NFTs. I'm not gonna talk about NFTs because I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble with the other recent mint that has happened. That was very largely expensive, I'm gonna call it. But I'm not gonna say anything further on the matter. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, why? When there's so much volume trading in HBAR, it moved 2 cents, but the same volume in XRP will move 20 cents, for example. It's not the same volume, so you'd have to look. And again, I don't know what this is. If this is, I'm assuming this measures the asset. So look right here. This is going to tell you the exact number for the volume. This is 615 Bitcoin. This is 1,800 Bitcoin. This is 1,300 Bitcoin. So if that's what you're talking about, then that's why. Because XRP, if there's let's go to this big fat candle. There's 216.3 million XRP moving. That's 216.3 million times $2.50. So that's a lot more money than with HBAR moving, let's say, that same candle, I think. 178 million because it's only 20 cents. Does that make sense? So the dollar amount is different. The quantity can be the same, but because XRP's dollar amount is much larger for that multiplication factor, there's a lot more money going into it. That's why this volume is always funny to me, because instead of measuring in US dollars or Tether, because all of these charts are weighed against Tether, a US dollar stablecoin, they measure in the underlying asset. So it gets a little confusing. I'm not sure why this is never explained anywhere. God forbid you need like a little bit of explanation with all of this nonsense on these charts, because like a lot of these indicators are crazy. With like, imagine being somebody new looking at this, you're like, what the hell is all this junk? I have no desire to learn any of this. I'm just gonna go work at the grocery store. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with any of this crazy junk, but you can do both. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. All right, let's see what else we got. Tyler said, good, shortly lived. Pinlink looking okay. I caught a tagged fish, $25 and $25 cert for beer. I don't know what any of that means. You had to pay a $25 fine because of the fish that you caught, and you also had to get a certification for beer? I'm so unfamiliar with those things that you just said. Um, yeah, HBAR, the quantity that they're measuring is the asset. So this is 52 million HBAR, whereas the other one's 52 million XRP. So it's the same volume, but the dollar amount's different. We were on Sweet, that's where we were. So Sweet, same thing as everything else. We got the distribution, the shakeout, pump, distribution, shakeout, pump. Looking good. Let's see if the price stays where it's at or goes down to the 350 area. Tyler said, I was in a derby and won $25 and $25 certificate for beer. Oh, nice. Okay. I understand now. A derby. Like for fishing? Is that a fishing thing? I saw that video of those guys that got caught cheating with the weights and like shoved inside their fish. And apparently they had like defrauded like tens of thousands of dollars from other contests, which is crazy to me. Gorian Brands of Brooklyn said, I understand. Just wondering, with so much volatility, HBAR has 6 to 7 cent range this past month. Doesn't seem it moves much. Yeah, I feel you. I really do. I also think that so the percentage, the chart doesn't seem like it moves much because you're like, oh, this thing went from 17 cents to 22 cents, big freaking deal. But when you measure the percentage, that's a lot. 30%, that's a pretty big chunk. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell when they're at these low valuations, like less than 50 cents, then it's hard to like fathom that being a lot because it in your brain you already know like 15 to 20 cents is not a lot. But I think that that's part of the whole detachment from currency thing with crypto specifically. And I'm glad that a lot of people are pointing that out now because it's so true. When you do crypto, you do genuinely get a like an huge mental detachment from currency valuation. Like I was complaining the other day because some company only bought like $500 million of Bitcoin. I was like, big deal. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's a ton of money. That is a big deal. But because I'm so used to Sailor dropping like $3-4 billion every Monday, it just didn't seem like much to me. We're becoming detached, which might be the first stage of greed. Chewy said, "Bro, it's bedtime. What are you doing up?" I was out during the daily close. I was at a play, which was a great, wonderful play, by the way. Like blown away at the level of acting ability from those people. It was very, very entertaining. But I was at a play during the daily close, so I'm doing my late night live stream because I can't leave you guys hanging for the day. HBAR chilling. 1858 might be the bounce. Otherwise, I would look for 1783. Sweet. We went through already. Ondo. See, everything looks the same when you consider that distribution shakeout scenario. Pump, distribution, shakeout, pump, distribution, shakeout. And it's always a higher low every single time. Every single time. Unless it's a downtrend. You know, once you break that, then you get the dump, distribution, dump, distribution, dump, distribution. And there might be a dump, distribution, shakeout, dump, distribution, shakeout, dump, distribution, dump. You know, it doesn't always have to be identical or predictable or the same or similar or anything like that. But once you establish a pattern, you can try to trade it. Chewy said, what was the play about? I think it's called All Out. And it's about people going on this TV, like contest game show thing and them like being put to the extreme to see how far they would go to win $1 million. And I'm not going to spoil the rest of it, but it was really entertaining. On Aerodrome, we went through Ondo. Aerodrome, yep. So I pointed this out that this was potentially in a bear flag now because we've hit our 1, 2, 3 distributions. And we got our W, we got our M, we got our target hit beautifully on this purple. Couldn't quite make it above 76. And now it's breaking down. Not financial advice. I think my target for Arrow, bearish target, is 40. Let's call it 42. I'm going to call it 42. Just to front run a little bit. Actually, I'll go 45. That's where I think it's going to end up. I could be totally wrong. I would be very happy if it just bounced way earlier. Even right here, if it just kept going up, that would be sick. But if we are about to have some kind of a little cool-off scenario, because this thing did literally go up 100, 200%, which is a lot. If we're going to have a cool-off, it's going to should be a decent cool-off. Let's go take a look at Pinlink for Mr. Tyler. Mr. Tyler. Butthole. Pinlink. Bam. Up 9.61% on the day. Very nice. Ooh, look at that. It's so crazy, man, when you draw these stupid lines and they do something later. So Pinlink got up here, rejected at the top of the range, got a little bounce at our inner range, and then bam, found support at the bottom. This beautiful candle. What size is that candle? 21% candle. Is Pinlink available on any exchanges? I wonder. Let me see. Coin market cap. Pinlink. Okay, it's on MXC, Gate.io. Those seem to be the only two. There was a pretty beautiful short opportunity right there at that little bounce rejection. I wonder. So my main goal right now with Pinlink, you're very clearly going to have immense resistance right here because of all of this support, turned resistance. So if it can break through 74.4, get above 75, and then eventually 80, and hold that, then make its way towards $1 again, that would be wonderful. It does look like it's making a higher low, which is nice. There's a sloppy trend here. There's a sloppy trend. And that wick even kind of solidifies that trend. You also have a very decent uptick in volume. RSI is almost oversold, not quite. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I do like that it's green right now as well. It's up 10% on the day. $67 million market cap. Yeah, I mean, this thing, like I said, as long as it's in this purple box, it's in an accumulation range for me. Drummer said I'm late. I didn't get a notification. Oh, we just got on. When did I start? I started 45 minutes ago. Yeah, we haven't been on that long. It's a late show today. All right, let's get back to it. But yeah, Arrow, if it's going to continue a downtrend, if it breaks below this 62.2, then we're looking for 60, and then 55, 50, 48, and then 45 is my target, my midterm target, if it gets bearish like that. So something to keep an eye on. Render is up 0.33% on the day. Ooh, we got our midpoint pullback. If it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce right here. We're gonna have to see though. It's getting a reaction though. That's beautiful. So we got our M. We got support right here. It broke below. Support right here. Hopefully that's it. Otherwise, if it breaks below, then look for a reaction off of 432. But I have faith so far because it does seem to be having a relatively decent reaction off of that line, which is perfect. We'll keep an eye on it. Polkadot is up 0.24% on the day. Got a nice bounce at 47.6 or 476, and then broke below that. It's showing right now at 459, 462, but 459 support level. If it breaks below that, then we'll look for 444. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like it so far. It's doing the same thing as everything else. You got your pump, distribution, shakeout, pump, distribution, shakeout. Hopefully it continues. the overall trend, the midterm trend seems to be up, and the volume is indicative of that. We'll see. We will see. Maybe Monday's the day. CAS is up 0.89%, getting a nice reaction off of 10.9. We'll see what happens. It did a little fake out from the symmetrical and then broke below. So this one had to break above and continued. This one had to break above and failed. That's why we always wait for confirmation if we're trading these patterns. Oh, Tyler said, JJ, how's your 5% a day going? Actually, I would love to update you on that, Tyler. Thank you very much for asking. If you guys want to join the Discord in the description down below, let me actually show you. So open up the description. Discord is right here. Feel free to join. And within that, also, if you want to try it yourself, Bitunix is what I'm using. You can also use Ourbit. Exercise caution if you do decide to try and do it yourself. It's spooky. I'll tell you that much. So with the compound trading challenge, we got day one. Day one, we got 6.56. We started with, I think, just under 50 bucks. We're at 53.30 after day one. And then day two, I got 10%, put me at 58.66. And then I posted the table. So I have more of the table, but day 1 through 20 is right here. And at the end of day 3, we're supposed to be at 55.12. I think I'm at 58.66. So I'm just below. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm at day 3. So today I technically don't have to trade at all. And if I did specify though, if I do find a trade, I'm going to take it. But as long as by the end of tomorrow, I'm at $60.78, then I'm right on track. But so far, so good. We are grinding along. And if you guys are not aware, the end game goal of this whole entire thing is to get to $325,000, because apparently that's a thing. I did specify that if I make it to 100K, I'm probably going to take 100K. Where's it at? Right here. If I make it to day 156 and I'm at 100K, I'm probably taking it off the table. And I'll start over again with 50 bucks, maybe even $1,000. But if I make it to $100,000, I'm not just going to be like, oh, let's keep trading and then accidentally lose it all. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be brutally honest. The whole concept is to show that this is even possible, which I don't know if it is. We're just kind of grinding along, seeing if it works. Tyler said, "What is JJ? John Joseph?" I'll tell you guys one day. Rob Hopkins said, "John Jacob Jingle." Giovanni said, "It's actually been pretty fun. Been learning a lot too. It is a lot of fun for real." Tyler said, "Which is only 60K after tax." I don't want to hear about it. That's not the point. All right. Yeah, Cass is getting a nice reaction off of that 10.9 level. We'll see what happens. Avalanche up 0.23. Same thing. Distribution shakeout. We'll see if it continues to the upside. If it does break below this, though, I mean, there might be some new. Let me see. I guess you could technically make the argument for this being support. You got support, resistance, 2 of these right here. We got resistance, support. So yeah, there's a new support line at the midpoint right there after all of this has happened. So if it does break below this, then we'll look for that higher low. Higher low is always important for an uptrend. Your RSI is almost oversold, and you do have a green dot on the momentum wave. The momentum wave is oversold as well. It's not quite a confirmed green dot. This is what the confirmed green dot looks like on the momentum wave. This big, thick, beautiful green baby boy. Right here, you have just the little confirmed green dot on the momentum wave, which is different from the confirmed green dot on the indicator in general, at least from what I understand. The lighter one down here is showing you that that was possible. It might still become confirmed. We'd have to wait for this candle to close at midnight in order to know for sure. but so far it looks good. Chainlink up 0.39% on the day, getting a nice reaction off of 1524. If it breaks below that, then we'll look for the purple trend line, which might also be, yeah, right there. You got support all throughout here, resistance, 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 support, support, new confluence line, which just so happens to be a higher high if it does come down this low. So keep an eye on that. OP is up 0.57% on the day. Not a lot going on with OP. If you are a trader, this is probably one of your favorite coins because this thing only moves in like 50%, 30 or 50% increments, which is crazy. But keep an eye on it. It does seem to still be in a relatively decent uptrend. You got low, higher low, higher low. So we'll see if that continues. Even if it comes down here, that would still technically be a higher low. And it would kind of be following a common trajectory. So keep an eye on it. Volume spike is really nice. RSI is almost oversold. Your momentum wave did reach oversold for a second. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said, which specific RSI indicator shows the green and red dots? Okay, so this right here is my regular RSI. This is, I don't think it's the RSI. I think the RSI is on there. But it's called VMC Cipher B Divergences. If you guys want to find that yourself, it is right here at the very bottom. It is by Fu Manchu. Let me see, can I zoom in? I can. Okay, does that help? Fu Manchu Cipher B plus Divergences. And it's got 20.4 thousand, I'm assuming, downloads or favorites or whatever. But it's just like the free version of Market Cipher, which is CryptoFace's indicator. Did I? There we go. Okay. But yeah, that's the one that shows the dots. And we're kind of still learning about the dots, and they're not 100% guaranteed upwards momentum or anything like that. They just kind of, it's just a signal, so you can, I don't know, in my opinion, I just figure out what the chart plays off of over time and try and trade that. But the momentum wave does shift when the price action starts to move. I think it's volume based specifically. And then that's why if you zoom way in, it becomes incredibly helpful. Not that I do this all the time. This is a little too much effort for me. But you see right here, this light blue compared to like this purpley blue. That light blue is bad. That means the price is going down. And then when it flips bullish, this dark purple kind of comes out. It's very hard to see, but it's like right here. Let me see if I can zoom in even more. See it? Yeah, you can see it. Oops. So, yeah, these are all like the different colors that you look for in the momentum wave, but that's what the green dot signals, that there's that flip is occurring. See, the flip occurred, and then you got a red dot because the flip occurred back. Green dot, flip occurred, so it's bullish again. Red dot, flip occurred back. Does that make sense? There's a lot to it, and it's very like heavily layered, so it's not all like a 100%. You're never gonna learn the whole thing, I don't think. But it's nice. I don't know. I'm not a 15 indicator kind of person, so I like the Fu Manchu has like a bunch of different things to look at. And then the RSI is just a classic indicator. You can't really beat it. Do you do the bands? I do like Bollinger Bands, yes. It does also reminds me of a colon because every time I look, it's probably squeezing and pooping. Doge. Whenever the price gets like really flat, I will look at the Bollinger Bands because that usually signals that the price is about to pop like a pimple. Light blue band, dark blue good. Oh, light blue bad, dark blue good. I think so. Yeah, that's probably the best way to look at it. But that's not necessarily maybe light blue down, dark blue up, because down doesn't mean bad, especially if you're in a short. You know what I mean? Tyler said I'm just 20x longing. I'm just 20xing LMAO. I just go balls out, make it or not. See, Tyler truly treats it like gambling, which maybe is the way that everybody should do, but who knows? Doge still has this wedge action going on. It did not quite break back there. We'll see if we can get a break up here. I will keep this, and I'm just going to pull it right here and see if that happens. I like this curl that we got going on. Doge kind of doing the same thing that it's always done. The pump distribution, pump distribution. See if it breaks bullish. It is sitting below 2165, which is not great. Breaks and can't support that. Then look for 20. Can you do bands on Pinlink? Let's go see, actually. Can we? Pinlink, Pinlink, Pinlink. Do, 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 do. Okay, so I already have RSI on here, so I think I have to close it. I don't think the Bollinger Bands are going to be that entertaining, honestly, but let's see. Bollinger Bands. Oh, I can do two. Okay, cool. Yeah, see. What's nice is you can back test it, and you can see this squeeze right here had that push up, which is lovely. You had a squeeze right here, which was a push down. You had, I guess, kind of a squeeze right here, which pushed up. You had a squeeze right here, which pushed up. Squeeze right here, which pushed up. Squeeze right here, which pushed down. Pretty decent squeeze right there, which pushed down. So yeah, right now it is starting to pinch, but it's got a ways to go. Like this is kind of it's a smaller area. I wouldn't necessarily call it a squeeze though. You didn't really get any reaction. You want to look for this. When it gets real flat, you got to squeeze, pump, squeeze, pump. See how it reminds me of a colon? I feel like a colon is like the perfect way to look at it. Tyler said red or black, one way or the other. No messing around. All right, let's get this off there. There we go. Okay, let's go back. Polygon Matic Pole. We had this weird wedge thing possibility, this channel, and it's sitting at the bottom support. We'll see if it holds. It looks like it's not going to. If it doesn't, then look for 22 reaction. If it does, then maybe we'll break out of the top trend line. But jury's out right now. It's very indecisive. RSI's chilling. You had a confirmed red dot, which seems to have played out. Momentum wave is sitting at almost oversold. Near. Distribution shakeout pump. Distribution shakeout. Hopefully pump. It's pretty violent shakeout on near specifically. What's nice though is that it's literally sitting at previous highs, like local highs. Going to bed, Seabroskies. Take it easy, Tyler. Thank you for stopping by and smashing the like button. Yeah, we'll see if this bad boy comes down here or down here. If it breaks either of those, or if it breaks the bottom one specifically, then we better hope for a nice reaction off of this. Otherwise, that's a lower low, and that's not a good thing. Lower low is incredibly bearish. It is almost oversold, though. Momentum wave is oversold with a green dot on the wave specifically. And RSI, it reached oversold for a quick second, but came back up. I think a lot of these charts are potentially setting up a turnaround for tomorrow. Not financial advice. We'll just have to wait and see. And Chili's played out beautifully. I would not be surprised at a decent cool off with this. Maybe look for support right there. 40. I actually really like that. Let's go with 40. So we'll see. Silver, choppy. MicroStrategy the same. DXY, choppy. NASDAQ and S&P both the same. And Bitcoin dominance, chilling. 63.62. Bitcoin, currently 103, 190, and 47 cents. Quick update with some articles. Donald Trump is mad at Walmart for potentially raising their prices. Coinbase apparently got hacked again, and they said 100,000 plus people were affected, and they're only out $400 million. Everything's fine. This is news to me. I have yet to see any confirmation of this. That's a crazy amount of money. Just make sure you guys are safe. It sounds paranoid, I know, but I have a specific account that I put money in to load onto Coinbase. So if my Coinbase got compromised, I would be out almost no money compared to my actual like bank account that I use for real life money and my crypto account that I use for cryptocurrency stuff. and I don't keep my bags, my hold bags, on Coinbase because it's a centralized exchange. That's just me. I know everyone's going to be different, but I would highly advise self-custodying your crypto. If you are going to trust a centralized exchange, I guess Coinbase might be the most trustworthy, but it's still a centralized exchange, so you just gotta be careful. Look out for yourself. Um, we got President Trump saying he's willing to travel to China for trade talks with Xi Jinping. Very exciting. This one was crazy. Homebuilder sentiment plummeted to its lowest level in 13 years for the month of May. The last time sentiment was this low, it was 2007 through 2012 housing collapse. Builders are reporting very low traffic, increased use of price cuts, and are giving sales incentives on over 60% of listings. Meanwhile, we have the highest level of spec builder inventory on the market since 2009. Bad news for people who want home prices to go up. Good news for prospective buyers. Things are about to get cheaper. I freaking hope so. Dave said smash the like. Thank you very much, Dave. Happy Saturday. We got one Bitcoin, 15 hours ago at least, was equal to the price of 1 kilogram of gold. One Bitcoin was 102,947 and 76 cents. 1 kilogram of gold was 102,921 and 61 cents. That's pretty cool. We got Powell. This is another cute little excuse from Powell now. He said if the large increases in tariffs that have been announced are sustained, they are likely going to generate a rise in inflation, a slowdown in economic growth, and an increase in unemployment. We've gotten our data back from this so far for at least last month, and everything looks great. So far, he just kind of looks silly. I don't know. Flight Token said, hi guys, just passing through saying hi. Just a quick reminder, my 9-year-old nephew thinks girls wear makeup and perfume because they're actually sick and ugly. That's really funny. Thank you for stopping by and smashing the like button. Kids are hilarious, man. They're like the greatest stand-up comedians that ever lived. We got macro roadmap for altcoins from Mr. Mustache. 2015, double bottom, higher lows, reaccumulation, and a huge rise to the upside. 2018, 2019, double bottom, higher lows, reaccumulation, explosion to the upside. Double bottom, higher lows, 22, 23, reaccumulation, 24, and hopefully an explosion to the upside. So far, it doesn't look like we're getting that, though. We'll see what happens. This is the first time it looks like we've had this goofy little accumulation. Maybe he should fix the accumulation thing. Why does it have to be a descending broadening wedge? Why can't it just be a yellow circle accumulation? Clearly it's not working. But that was kind of funny. We got Trump saying the stock market will go higher again, which I would like to point out every time he said that, he has been correct. We got Wall Street Bets saying Ethereum fees dropped to 2020 levels. Bullish if you like using ETH, bearish if you like owning it. Sensei said sell your car, sell your wife, sell your house. Time to all in. Let's go. We got how will the stock market react to the U.S. credit rating downgrade on Monday? This we have yet to see the effect of because it is the weekend. The stock markets don't trade on the weekends. I'm sure aftermarket stock market is probably red because this is a bearish event that has occurred. ARK Invest CEO Kathy Wood predicts Bitcoin will reach 1.5 million by 2030. Let's freaking go. Hong Kong police arrest 12 suspects in $15 million crypto laundering tied to 500 plus bank accounts and 58 fraud cases. This goes to show that if you are genuinely committing crimes, it doesn't matter if you're in crypto or not. Illegal things are still illegal. Don't be an idiot. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said Powell is just doing this in spite at this point. So ridiculous. Unfortunately, it does seem that way. And I feel like both parties are guilty at this point. Trump should never have said anything. If he didn't say anything, there's a good chance Powell probably would be cutting rates. But because Trump said something now, in Powell's mind, he probably feels like he can't cut rates right now because it'll look like he's giving in to Trump's demands. And that's not what the Fed is supposed to do. The Fed is supposed to be independent. So if Trump never said something, then we wouldn't be in this predicament. It's a both sides thing. The problem is the Fed should not give a shit what other people think and should cut rates. They're like, we're waiting for 2% inflation. We're at like 2.1 or something ridiculously at their target, but whatever. That's just me. I'm not gonna try to play both sides. I think they're both assholes because we're not getting rate cuts yet, and I want some damn rate cuts. So it's both their fault right now. Cointelegraph said 90% of banks are rolling out stablecoins, says Fireblocks. Cross-border, business-to-business payments, and speed lead the charge. Let's freaking go. Trump slams Fed Powell as legendary for being too late, urges immediate rate cuts. Let's see. The consensus of almost everybody is that the Fed should cut rates sooner rather than later. Too late Powell, a man legendary for being too late, will probably blow it again, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. This one was hilarious as well. Not a big fan of Vitalik, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of the guy. Today, Vitalik Buterin connects with Chinese developers to discuss Ethereum's future development. Interesting. I genuinely actually had no idea he was even still involved in, like, anything. He seems so detached from reality. And, you know, that's not to say the other founders aren't either. Charles is very detached from reality. Like, the dude flies around in a Black Hawk helicopter and puts, like, fire ants in gloves in Africa. So, they're both one and the same, in my opinion. The difference is Vitalik seems, I guess, heavily involved in Ethereum still for some reason. And it's just weird to me how often they're upgrading Ethereum to be exactly like Cardano. But that's just me. That's my biased take. We got Ash Crypto said the current Bitcoin price action is now mirroring the 2020 pre-parabolic run. Pray for new all-time high. We got 2020, this lovely diamond shape explosion. And then we got 2025, this lovely diamond shape explosion. I don't know. Seems pretty possible. Like, this actually looks better than this looked, which is very interesting. Alex Becker said, you don't understand how much you're about to make in crypto. The screenshot you're going to take of your gains before you hold back to zero is going to be insane. Let's freaking go. This guy's named Nerolf said, pro tip, build mobile first. One of crypto's biggest problems is pretending users still live on desktops. They don't. I actually agree with this. I know I'm in the minority when I'm like, I use a computer, I use a PC, I use a laptop for most everything. Whenever I'm on my phone, it's because I'm at work or something, away from my computer, and I feel the need to trade. Drummer said Vitalik is past his prime. I agree. I feel like he needs a girlfriend. Like a girlfriend that looks his age. The build mobile first thing with crypto specifically, I've had way too many people ask me how to buy this or that, and I'm so uneducated in mobile phone anything. The fact that there isn't an easy explanation for me to tell people like, oh, download this wallet, go to this place and use this, or there's an app or whatever. Just with every ecosystem, I genuinely, if you gave me a phone, locked me in a room and said, here's $1 million, you must buy Bitcoin within 24 hours, I don't know if I'd be able to. If they told me to do it in a decentralized manner, or like some obscure like ecosystem play on a phone, I legit don't know what the hell I'm doing. Brendan Hilgen said sell block 1. He understood the assignment. I like it. All right, last but not least, we got Mustache saying altcoins, don't be misled. A small stopover is normal. Dips are for buying, higher afterwards. Let's freaking go. We got a falling wedge, an explosion to the upside. Falling wedge, explosion to the upside. I like it. Can't beat the falling wedge, man. Bitcoin chilling 103, 179. The alts are hit or miss. We're looking relatively red for the evening. Like I said, we're going to be stuck in this range from this weird liquidation heat map that we get every single weekend. So this usually breaks Sunday afternoon. So we'll have to wait. We got about 12 hours to go. Drummer said, do you mine on your phone? I don't do anything on my phone. I hardly call people or text on my phone. Definitely ain't doing nothing with crypto specifically. I also understand that phones are probably going to be the primary targets of like infiltrations, exploits, hacking. If I lose my phone, I don't want to lose any money. So nothing tied to my money is on my phone. My trading account is always minimal. If I if I lost everything right now, as long as I still had my keys, I would be good. And that's probably the most important thing. Somebody could steal my laptop, somebody could steal my computer, somebody could steal my phone. I would still have access to majority of my money. That's something that you gotta take into consideration, unfortunately. Our 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is still down about 45 bucks, chilling. Our Memecoin portfolio is actually up $55. This thing is killing it. And Whiff and Pepe seem to be leading the charge. Everything else is negative right now, down. And our narrative portfolio is still in profit, $164. This one is also killing it. Everything is in profit. VeChain being the lowest, it's only in profit 1.3%, but it looks good. Everything looks great for the narrative portfolio specifically. Other than that, we're keeping an eye on everything. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to follow along the compound interest trading scenario, go in the description, check out the Discord. We're going to be posting everything. This is the Discord specifically. The Compound Trading Challenge channel is right here. Feel free to join. Once we probably get to like 15 days, I'm going to post the next chunk, which is day 21 through 40. And we'll see the end game at the end of each day is to have, like, at the end of day 4, $60.78. At the end of day 10, $81.44. So if we can skip ahead by holding a trade out for an extra 5% that day, then, that's wonderful. We can take a day off the next day, or, that buys us time when the charts maybe aren't cooperating. My biggest thing that I've learned in crypto, besides the don't trade with emotion thing, is you don't always have to be in a trade. Forcing trades is the worst thing you can do for yourself. You are more than likely going to get stopped out if you force trades or liquidated. And both of those stink. You usually end up losing money. But anyways, I'm probably going to call it. We've been going for just over an hour. Little late night Saturday stream. Couldn't leave you guys hanging. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. You guys are all absolute legends. Thank you for smashing the like button, as always, and hopefully this is the case. If Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Gourmet Brands Brooklyn said, "What's their news on XCN? Do you know why the pump? I sold my bag a while back. Let's actually go look before I exit." XCN. I don't know that there were news. Somebody brought this up the other day when it pumped. Like this, whatever, probably within these candles. And we looked at it. What do we got? 19%, and then it came back down, and then it did another 9%, came back down 8%, and then 5%. So overall, from the bottom to top, about 25%-ish. Yeah. News, I have no idea. It could have been anything. It looks like it was right here, so it probably just hasn't come down yet from that. I don't know, it's hard to tell. There's a nice spike in volume too. Interesting. It seems like it's in a nice little distribution pattern right here. So, worst case scenario, what you don't want to happen is a BART, because that would stink. If it does do that, I could actually make a case for this. This is your pump, your distribution, your shakeout, your pump, distribution. I don't know. Tremor said, "I mine Litecoin, Doge, Monero on unmineable with my phone. The profits are on unmineable till you withdraw." I might have to look into that. Monero is CPU, if I'm not mistaken. Litecoin and Doge, I don't know. My brain, I can't really fathom the actual profits in that with a phone specifically, because you usually need a relatively decent rig. But people have made tens of thousands of dollars with Pi on their phone, so maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What's selling me a lot recently is that BitX, those little BitX miners. Let me see if I can find it. And I'm assuming these things actually happen. It's like a needle in a haystack scenario. These BitX miners are so tiny, you make like pennies a day, if that, especially if you're paying for electricity. but the marketing is genius. You can like get lucky with mining and mine a whole block yourself as a single independent miner. It's very, very rare. But it has happened like 2 or 3 times within the past 6 months on a Bitaxe miner specifically. These are about 125 bucks. So you're kind of just throwing that money away for the rest of your life until the possibility of mining a individual block yourself hits, and then you get $100,000. You know what I mean? So it's a gamble, 1000%. But people do it, man. People do it. It seems fun. It does genuinely. It seems like a little fun, little gimmicky thing. If my like streaming thing ever takes off and I get like a nice office set up with cool stuff in the background, I'll probably set one up just to have it look cool in the background because they do look pretty sick, honestly. Let's go see if we can find a website. This one's in Europe. I just want to see what it actually looks like. Oh, they're sold out. Yeah, see, the freaking marketing is genius for these, man. I'm telling you. Everyone is buying them up like crazy. This is cool. What the hell is that? You kidding me? I don't know. I think that they're a lot of fun. Even if it's just to like support the network and, like, it's like buying a Funko Pop. Like buying a $125 Funko Pop. It's literally just for um, the novelty of it. But they look freaking cool. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sold. I buy stupid stuff sometimes. I paid $50 for a case of SNEK energy, Hey, I have zero judgment to make on anybody else. Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn said I haven't been watching it. Yes, nice spike. Just wondering. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. It's always worth checking for sure. Like, let's see. What's it called again? I forget what the damn coin was called. You asked XCN. That's what it's called. Onyx. Onyx coin. Is it Onyx? ONYX. Onyx DAO? Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Token contract, May 16th, which was yesterday. Poll communities, something, submit your poll below. Was it this? Everyone else has been distracted with the launch of XCN Ledger, Onyx Points, Onyx AI, and other developments. Some have been farming the XCN wrapped ETH pool at 52. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. They definitely seem to have a decent handle on their audience. That's for damn sure. You don't just hash as much as Bitaxe on a phone, but it just runs in the background. Unmineable. You can mine other coins. Yeah, it seems like one of those fun random things. I was gonna set up mining at my office because we don't pay for electricity, but I was like, what if the building burns down? You know what I mean? Because I'm not there for like a lot of time. I'm very like I work in the office maybe like 3 months out of the year if you were to add up all the time. So if one of the miners catches on fire or something, and the office is locked and that historic building just burns down, everyone's like, "What the hell happened?" I'm like, "I don't know." Oh wow, I have no idea why it was so hot in there all the time and why the electricity bill's really, really high. I have no clue. They're like, we didn't say anything about the electricity bill. How do you know about that? And then I just run away. All right, guys. Anyways, I'm going to call it. Again, though, as always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, which hopefully ends up being the case, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Smash the like button on your way out. Happy Saturday. Enjoy your weekend, and good night.